This week we are doing The Wedding People by Alison Espach. I'm Jamie Livingston.
And I'm Sarah Lyles, and we are so approachable. All right, so this week, this book was your pick.
Yeah, I think it is technically. We have a spreadsheet where we kind of put in books that we want to read, and this was one that we had both indicated could be read. We weren't really sure what it was because I thought it was a rom-com, but then after looking at some of the information, like maybe it's not. So that's what this episode is about. We're going to figure out what it is before we dive in. I don't know. Are you excited to read this one?
I am. It's like I look at the cover and I'm like, well, it looks like it's fun.
Right. I like the bottle of champagne, the peace sign. Like, I'm here for it.
It's a wedding good time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a little bit of a book summary. This is from the back of the book. It's a beautiful day in Newport, Rhode Island, when Phoebe Stone arrives at the Grand Cornwall Inn wearing a green dress and gold heels.
Oh, girl.
Not a bag in sight alone. She's immediately mistaken by everyone in the lobby for one of the wedding people. But she's actually the only guest at the Cornwall who isn't here for the big event.
Phoebe is here because she's dreamed of coming for years. She hoped to shuck oysters and take sunset sails with her husband, only now she's here without him at rock bottom and determined to have one last decadent splurge on herself.
Meanwhile, the bride has accounted for every detail and every possible disaster the weekend might yield, except for, well, Phoebe and Phoebe's plan, which makes it that much more surprising when the two women can't stop confiding in each other.
It turns absurdly funny and devastatingly tender. Alison Espach's The Wedding People is ultimately an incredibly nuanced and resonant look at the winding paths we can take to places we never imagined and the chance encounters it sometimes takes to reroute us.
That is not what I thought this book was about.
No, not at all.
Sounds interesting.
I love it, though. As somebody who has worked at a lot of weddings, I can see how somebody would just be mistaken for part of the crowd.
In her green dress and her gold heels.
Mm-hmm. What do we know about the author?
All right. Alison grew up in Troomville, Connecticut, where she lived for most of her life. She earned her bachelor's from Providence College and her master's in creative writing from Washington University in St. Louis.
She is an associate professor of English at Providence College in Rhode Island. And her first book, The Adults, came out in 2011, and that was actually based off of her master's thesis. That's a good way to repurpose a lot of really hard work.
Yeah, and I've never heard of that book, so I wonder how popular it was.
Yeah, this is apparently her third book, so there was another one in the middle. I don't remember what it was called, but this was her third book, and to go all the way to being a New York Times bestseller and a Today Show book, like this is a big deal.
Well, and this book took 4 or 5 years from start to finish. That's a long time.
I don't even know. Is that a long time for an author? I mean, it does feel like a long time.
I mean, I would think it's a long time, but again, I have no
aspirations of writing a book and putting it all together.
I will say TriStar Pictures has acquired the rights to The Wedding People.
Okay, yes. So that'll be exciting. It seems like every book these days is getting its chance on the big screen.
Well, yeah.
I'm here for it. It's fun. And for some people, they need to see the movie first before they'll consider reading the book. I don't know. Sometimes you got to throw a kid a bone and like let them watch the movie, and then they might be excited to read the book and learn more.
Yeah, that's true.
That was one of the things. I know my kids have read some Harry Potter, and then they watch, or they've seen the movie, and then they read the book, and they're like, that's not what happened. This is what happened. I love that. That makes me really happy.
Well, at least that means that they're understanding what's really happening.
If you can get them excited by the movie, do it.
All right, any more about the author that we don't know?
I think that's basically, she did say that she started writing at a very young age, and she tried to write a novel every year. Keep in mind that started with like 5 pages at a time. So, you work your way up. But so many people supported her on the way. Parents, high school English teachers, creative writing professors in college and graduate school. And she's still in school. She's a teacher. She's a professor. So
I don't know how they find the time.
A novel every year. If she says this one took her 4 to 5 years, she didn't meet that goal.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm proud of her for
Right. It's working for her.
It obviously is. All right. So on this, we get a 4.1 star overall, and that's at like 750,000 ratings. Very few 1%. So tell me what you have for a good and a bad.
Okay, I have Brady with 5 stars. It says, okay, so it took me a minute to get into this one, and I was so afraid I wouldn't like it, but I loved it. I don't know how a book with such a heavy subject matter also happens to be laugh out loud funny, but I just adored every second of this and didn't want it to end. Crying emoji.
That's hopeful.
Right? Might be a slow star, but it's going to have it all.
Which tells you to keep pushing. All right, so I found a 5-star by Jessica. She said I really enjoyed this book. It was very relatable and more real life than most rom-coms. Sometimes that's fun to read an unrealistic rom-com, but this book was so refreshing, and I took away so many little life lesson tidbits from Phoebe's life. I love her character, and I really enjoyed the author's writing style. A great beach or vacation read. Will definitely recommend to family and friends.
All right. I love that. Taking things away for your own life.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a good book.
Absolutely.
Okay, but there are, of course, some womp-womps to go with it. So I did a 2-star from Abby. And I'm not condoning this, but she says, take a shot every time Phoebe mentions the pandemic or her ex-husband, and maybe you'll enjoy it more than I did. Skull emoji. I am simply just not the target audience for this kind of book.
The pandemic was rough.
I'm curious to see how that factors in.
Yeah, I am actually too, because I haven't read any books that have included that, so that will be interesting.
Oh, that's true. I told you we needed to read that one book that is like all pandemic. Still got to keep that one on my list. Okay.
All right, and I found a 1-star from Sarah. The writing was flat, boring, nothing close to interesting or unique about the characters, resulting in me caring not even remotely about this book. Highly predictable. 1-star read.
Okay, Sarah.
Yeah,
Rude.
I know. She doesn't have an H, that's why.
Right. She's not cool. She's not cool like that. The 5-star reviews for that are like make me really excited for this.
Yes, and again, like we said, the 1-stars and the 2-stars are so minimal. So, I mean, it's good to see that most people are about 4 stars. I think that's the majority. So 4 and 5 stars.
Well, and I think that we relate to this because we are both married women, so we have been through weddings, and so that's an interesting take. I also said I do wedding videography, so as somebody who has worked staff at a wedding, you get that experience. But I want to learn a little bit about your wedding, Miss Sarah. Was there something unique or strange or that stands out to you that would be like a funny story to tell the masses?
Well, I don't recommend big weddings to people because I was a bridezilla. I think it was so stressful because I do, a part of me really likes to have control of things, especially on something that's so big like that, that's life-changing. And so when there's so many factors that I have zero control of, it made me go wild. And I was already stressed out. Like, it's already kind of like wanting everything to go right and not just living in the moment. If I could go back, I wish I could just like live in the moment because I was pretty harsh to my sisters.
I was going to say, why would you characterize yourself as a bridezilla?
I mean, all the things.
The stereotype,
I'm pretty sure I was not pleasant to be around. And I mean, the little things would like set me off that normally wouldn't. And I think it was just another elevation of stress. And I'm like so jealous of my husband because he was like, we were just kicked back and we were just relaxing. And I'm like, I'm making sure all these things are getting done. And I had all that rolling through my Rolodex in my head. And when it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, it was like, I'm having a hard time keeping the peace here.
Right. Oh, I feel that. I understand.
So maybe a wedding planner, I think, would have been like the best case scenario. So shall I ever have another big event? Don't plan to ever get remarried because till death do us part. But a wedding planner for all those getting married. All right, so what about you? I'm curious. What's something unique about your wedding?
Well, I did have a COVID wedding, so I'm curious to see how that plays out in this book, if she was talking about COVID affecting this wedding or if it was like before. I don't know. That review just mentioned that COVID is there. But so we had to find a venue to try to accommodate our family, and we were looking at 200 some people, and at that time, crowds were not allowed. And the venue that we ended up selecting could have like 15 people inside.
Wow.
But it had an outside patio, and that could sit up to like 100 maybe. So I think we had to pare down our list to like 115 because 15 could be inside and 100 outside or something dumb. But we got married in March in Michigan.
Cold.
Outside.
Yeah.
So you do the math on that one. It was very cold, although all week leading up to our wedding, it was 75 degrees and sunny, and then it was 40 and raining on our wedding day. So there were heaters. We had a tent, like covering everything with walls. So we were basically inside, and it was just pointless. They wanted everyone to be wearing masks. It was a bummer.
Yeah.
But for something fun that we did, that we tried to incorporate the kids. I'm a stepmom, so I was acquiring children in the marriage as well. And so our two older ones were the groomsmen. And then our youngest one got to help us with our unity ceremony. And we did a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Aww.
So Alex and I went over to a side table and did a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, put it together, and we each took a bite. And then our DJ cranked up, peanut butter jelly time. So even this beautiful ceremony, and then like that crazy song comes on, and he got up and was in the front row and ran across and then took a huge bite, did a big thumbs up, and ran back to his seat. And it was just the cutest little thing because I love peanut butter and jelly. He loves peanut butter and jelly. I think my husband just went along with it. But it was just very cute because most people do a candle or the sand ceremony or knots or something, and
that was really unique.
we did peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
It was very us.
I like that.
Although Alex tried to like squeeze the jelly out and started flinging it. And I was like, get that away from my dress. And then I will say, if you're going to do that, you should probably have a cup of milk or something else on your side
Dry
table.
mouth.
Because our first kiss was very peanut buttery. There was not enough time between that and then to like get peanut butter out. So
how entertaining. And again, how unique. Like
Right.
what a cool way to incorporate the kids.
yeah, I think it's just fun. And like, have you been to a lot of weddings? I feel like I'm the person that doesn't get invited to weddings. So I'm there when I'm working a wedding typically.
I've been to like a few. Again, I don't know what it is, right? It's maybe that I speak the truth and that's why I've got 3 friends.
It's hard. But you know what? We're also getting older. And so all of our friends around us have gotten married. And so I just saw somebody else post who's like our age who was like, I used to do 7 weddings a summer and now I'm down to none. And I was like, well, that
I've
tracks.
been at none. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I love getting dressed up and looking nice, but we'll save that for date night.
Yeah. Again, just something that I don't normally go to a lot of weddings, but they're fun.
Yeah.
I like to be at the dance floor.
Yes, I'm here for it. All right, well, I'm here for the wedding people and whatever this fun little adventure takes us on.
All right. So keep reading.
Keep ranting.
And remember, you're so approachable.
Okay, the episode is over. Get reading.
But before you go, like, review, and subscribe.
Turn on notifications to get the alert when the full episode drops.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we're reading next and join the conversation.
We're so excited to have you on board.